In this video, I'm going to show you why it's essential to play with other musicians if you want to be a successful guitar player. Hey guys, what's up? My name is Matt Friedland. I'm a professional musician, guitar instructor, and founder of the 360 Music System. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell notification so you never miss a video or a live stream. In this video, I'm going to share with you 3 reasons why playing with other musicians is essential if you want to become a successful guitar player. Be sure to stick around till the end where I'll share with you some tips on how you can prepare for success for an upcoming jam session. As a professional guitar instructor with over 13 years of experience, the 2 biggest problems that I find many struggling guitarists face are 1, they feel stuck in a rut in their playing, meaning they've plateaued and they can't advance beyond their current level, or 2, they just don't know how to practice effectively, and so they don't know what or how to practice so they improve and feel good about their guitar playing. What I find with these struggling guitarists is that they're generally not playing music with other musicians. Alternatively, guitar players that are playing with other musicians, I find tend not to have these same frustrations. So why is this? Reason number 1, accountability. Playing with other musicians makes you accountable for your guitar playing. I find that struggling guitar players tend to suffer from the shiny ball syndrome. When they go to play or practice the guitar, they're all over the place. They might play some fragments of songs, jam with some backing tracks, and look up some YouTube videos. But there's really no structure or method or goal or purpose behind what they're playing. So while some of this playing may be fun, it's not likely going to yield high results for your playing and advance you further along. And generally what would happen is you'll probably find yourself stuck in a rut. On the other hand, guitarists who do play with other musicians focus their practice on things like songs and the skills that are actually going to allow them to be successful when they go to play with other musicians. Really, the key to their success is that they're making themselves accountable to those other musicians. They want to be able to play well so that it's a good experience for everyone involved. When you have accountability to other musicians, it's going to structure your practice so you focus on the things that actually will transform your playing and make you a successful guitar player. What this will also do is prevent you from wasting time in your practice on things that actually don't translate into you becoming a better guitar player and feeling good about yourself. What I find with successful musicians is they always have something to look forward to in terms of playing with other musicians. It creates a sense of urgency for them to get things done, to accomplish things. They have a deadline, an event set. So the thing is, if you don't have anything to look forward to when you're playing, and you really have no accountability, it's going to be very difficult for you to actually move forward with your playing, to feel good about your playing, and to advance your playing. Essentially, this is where I find that many guitar players find themselves stuck in a rut. So one sure way that you can break free of being stuck in a rut is if you plan on playing with other musicians. Reason number 2 why playing with other musicians is essential if you want to be a successful guitar player is experience. If you want to be a successful guitar player, a good portion of your time does need to be spent in individual practice. But if you really want to get to the next level, you're going to have some experience working with other musicians. Imagine somebody training to be a quarterback who never passed to a wide receiver, or a baseball pitcher who never faced an actual batter, or a basketball player who never faced a defender. It just really wouldn't make much sense. And the same is true for music. If you're not playing with other musicians, you're really missing out on a lot of key experience. If you're really trying to get good at guitar and you're not playing with other musicians, your individual practice is really only going to get you so far. Keep in mind that most of the music that we listen to, particularly for guitar, is within a band format consisting of other people and other musicians, like drummers, keyboard players, singers, bass players, and so on. If you really want to get to the next level, playing the kind of music that exists in a band format, playing with other musicians and gaining experience is going to be essential for you. Take it from a successful musician like Chad Smith from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. In this video, he says, you're not really playing music until you're playing with other people.
The way that I play, I need to play with other people. So it's always been important to be in bands and play with other musicians. And I really recommend that anybody that plays an instrument to Sure, you need to be able to be technically proficient and learn and take lessons and learn how to play your instrument, but you're not really playing music until you play with other people. But just for me, I think the human interaction is really important.
Now, a common belief that I hear from many inexperienced guitar players is they'll tell themselves, I'm just not good enough yet, and when I'm good enough, then I'll start playing with other musicians. And I totally understand that, particularly if you've never played with musicians before. But the truth is, the best way to actually get good and get experience and understand what you need to do to improve in your guitar playing is to start playing with other musicians as soon as possible. Now, if you don't have much experience playing with other musicians, and you're not sure how to prepare so that you're successful if you're going to play with other musicians, be sure to stick around to the end where I'll share with you some tips that are going to set you up for success for an upcoming jam session. Reason number 3 why playing with other musicians is essential to becoming a successful guitar player is fulfillment and validation. Just imagine you've been practicing the guitar for weeks, preparing for an upcoming jam session. You've been shedding on tunes, working on your solos, and a variety of other things. You finally get together with your friends to jam, and it's a great experience. You guys are all clicking musically, everything's coming together, you're feeling good about yourself, and after you play the tunes and the session, your friends are telling you, wow man, you're sounding really good, nice job with your playing, and we should do this again. And so, of course, you're going to thank them and say, thanks guys, really appreciate that, and compliment them on their playing, and you're just going to feel good about yourself after the session. When this happens, it's validating your efforts for playing the guitar. It gives you feedback. You're hearing compliments from people, and it's just going to make you feel good. What this is also going to do is it's going to boost your confidence, because when people are telling you that you sound good and it's a good experience playing with others, you're going to be confident that you can do this over and over again and that you're on the right track of becoming a better guitar player. If you're not playing with other musicians and you're just playing by yourself, maybe just surfing YouTube lessons and jamming to backing tracks, it's really hard to get any meaningful feedback and/or any validation for your playing. The real key to musical progress is the experiences that you have with other human beings and the connections that you make with them. What this does is it actually fulfills you and validates your efforts to become a better guitar player. So the sooner that you start playing with other musicians, the sooner you're going to start to feel fulfilled and validated for your efforts of playing the guitar. Now, if you're new to playing with other musicians and you're not sure how to actually go about it so you prepare yourself for success, I'm going to give you some tips based on my own experience. Now, the first thing that you can do is you want to make sure that you're learning songs from beginning to end, because most likely what's going to happen when you play with other musicians is you're going to play songs. Now, the best way you can do this to start is to just play along with the actual recording of the song. If you can play from the beginning to the end of that song with the recording, what that's like is like a simulated band experience, because you're playing along with a recording that has the members of a band, bass, drums, singing, and all that kind of stuff. If you're able to play with the recording, that skill is going to translate into your ability to actually play with other people. I know this from experience firsthand, because when I first started playing bass at the age of like 18, playing along with songs and records was one of the things that I did routinely, and it helped me massively in my playing. So I've been playing bass for about 8 or 9 months, and I remember the first time that I had the opportunity to play with a drummer. I was actually in college, and we were in our dorm in the lobby, and we had a drum set up there. And I used to come back from class every day and try and teach myself how to play drums. But one day I came back from class and there was a kid sitting at the drums, and he was playing and he was just rocking out on the drums, sounded great. Also, 10 of my friends were just hanging around listening to him. So when I came in, they said, hey Matt, why don't you grab your bass and jam with him? And I said, okay, sure. Meaning I was willing to at least take the chance and the risk. So I went to go grab my bass, but thinking to myself, I've never played with a drummer before, so I really don't know what to expect, but I'm just going to go for it. I brought my bass and amp downstairs, and there's the drummer playing, and all of a sudden he just kind of says, hey man, let's just jam. I had no idea what that meant at the time, but he started playing and basically everybody was watching, so I was like, I better think fast. Now, luckily, because I've been playing along with songs off of records, the drum beats that he was playing were pretty much the same things that I had heard off of those records. So all I did at that point was just replay the bass lines that I had learned off of the songs. and they fit together perfectly with this drummer. So it was an awesome experience. At the end of our jam of playing, the drummer complimented me. He said, "Hey man, that sounded awesome." And I was like, "Thanks, dude," because he was good as well. All my friends liked what they heard as well. And this was a big confidence booster. And it couldn't have happened if I wasn't playing along with recordings. After playing with this drummer, we brought in a guitar player and I formed my first band. This only took about 8 or 9 months of my playing on bass to actually form a band and play with other musicians. So the thing is, if you're playing with songs and recordings, this is gonna actually allow you to translate into playing with other musicians for real because it's a simulated experience. Now, step 2 to preparing to play with other musicians is the aspect of preparing. If you're gonna set up a jam session, try and find people that you're compatible with, that are maybe at the same skill level as you. Try and determine what songs you're going to play in advance so you know what to prepare for. That way you come into the session, you know the songs in advance, you know what to expect, you're not going to be caught off guard. Too many times I find inexperienced musicians show up to a session and number one, they're not prepared. They don't even know the songs. They get together to play and nobody knows the songs. Everybody's just kind of fiddling around on their instrument and nobody's really making music together. So the second thing that you can do to be successful in an upcoming jam session is find out as much details as you can about the players, the songs, and the difficulty level so you know what to expect so you can prepare for success. Now, with my program of the 360 music system, I do have classes where I coach students and guitar players on how to play music with one another. And we have different skill levels within the program. So the thing is, I want to set up students to play with other students who are at a more comparable skill level. Now, the other thing is you do need to play with musicians who are better than you because you're going to learn and gain a lot more experience. So that's why I play with my students in the sessions, whether I'm playing drums, bass, guitar, and so that way they have experience playing with a higher caliber musician because that's going to elevate their game. The third thing that you can do to prepare to play with other musicians is you can find a good teacher. Now, the thing is, I've studied with over 40 teachers in my career. And one of the things that a good teacher will do is not just show you things or how things work in terms of chords or scales or theory and all that stuff, which is all really good. But a good teacher should give you experience playing with them. So that way you gain that experience and you'll be able to utilize that experience when you play with other musicians. So step number 3, find a good teacher that you can jam with and play with. It's going to give you that experience and guide you through the process of how to learn how to play with other musicians. So guys, I hope you got value out of this video. In upcoming videos, I'm going to do some topics pertaining to the mindset to be able to put yourself in a position of confidence and success if you want to play with other musicians. And also, I'll do some more videos pertaining to where you can find musicians to play with that's a suitable situation for you. If you're interested in learning more about how the coached band formats work in the 360 music system, just click the link below to learn more about the program. If you enjoyed this video and got value from this, please hit the subscribe button and then the bell notification so you never miss a video or a live stream. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll see you in the next video.